All right, push one in the chat if you can hear me. Yeah. All right, I got a confirmation from the chat. Thank you for that confirmation. Welcome back to the Black Brain Trust. This is episode 597, Black Car Talk. Please hit the like button as you come in, share the video if possible, hit that notification bell so you get all the updates from the Black Brain Trust group, those posted on the community tab. There is a docket in the description, the video for this one. Real quick chat about the AMG GT Black Series. I think this is probably one of the dopest things to come out in the last few years. Let me drop the link for those who want to participate in this as well. And, you know, let me show my screen real quick. Like I was saying before, I think this is one of the dopest car releases in a long time, man. We haven't seen anything like this remotely from any manufacturer of the mainstream in a long time. I mean, we've seen the Nissan GTR, what else? The Chevy C8 Corvette. I think those cars have their places, but this AMG GT Black Series is just on another level. I mean, Mercedes knocked down every single, I mean, they just got it right. And like this first headline is saying right here, AMG's GT Black Series is shaping up to be a GT2 RS killer with angry aero and a new engine smashing out more than 520 kilowatts. This car is on steroids. It's not even on steroids. I mean, it's almost godlike what they've done with it. Everything on the car, every inch, every detail in the car was gone over with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that it actually contributes to the car itself, or contributes to the performance of the car itself. And for me, I've always been a big Porsche 911 GT3, GT2 RS, GT3 RS, even the Cayman GT4 series, and think that those cars are phenomenal. But this is on a different level. This is way beyond the GT3 and GT2 series from Porsche. I don't know. I would hate to be in Stuttgart right now, you know, and being Porsche, because you really don't have an answer to something like this. At least not in the common market. You don't have an answer to this. This is hot. Okay, this is extremely hot. I mean, from the front end to the back, I mean, they just nailed everything. And keep in mind that the engine is actually mid-mounted. It's actually in back of the front axle, and so it's not on top of. It's not all the way at the bumper. It's actually at the back of the front axle here. So where the lug nuts start, that, you know, that's where the engine starts too, and kind of goes into the cabin past the firewall. And so this is what Mercedes is doing, you know, carbon fiber drive shafts and stuff like that. There's nothing on the market from Porsche that can compete with this at all. At least from what I've seen from the spec sheet, there's nothing that can compete with this. Okay, this is on another level. And so I don't know how to really approach something like this. I mean, you're talking about the potential to, I just want to make sure I find this picture right here, because I think this is a good picture as well. The potential to top off Porsche in race series. Okay, this is a different sort of weapon for the track and for the street. I saw a video where the new GT2 RS took out a McLaren. I think it was a 720S. Okay. No, it wasn't a GT2 RS. I think it was just a Turbo S. But basically, the new Porsche Turbo S took out the McLaren, which is actually a remarkable car in itself. Now they're talking about this AMG GT Black Series completely obliterates everything from Porsche. And I'm saying to myself, how do you compete with that? Okay. How do you compete with something like that? This is really something. Oh, let me see who's trying to get in here. And so I thought this car would actually be affordable, but it's not. You're talking close to 400,000 just for this car alone. I don't know how many they're going to produce, but this is on a different level, man. This is
the new AMG.
Yeah, the Black Series,
Yeah, it's for homologation purposes, dude. Like they're doing a run to homologate, to have a car homologated for competition. That's why the number, if there's a minimum number, and then based on order, they'll expand it out. But when they make these kind of cars, it's for homologation.
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, they already had a AMG GT series. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they already had the GT, like the GTR and the GTR Pro were already badass cars.
Well, I would say that this is probably just one of those things where, now, like, let's take Ford and Chevy, for example, right? You know how many different like variations of like the Mustang and Camaro they sell? Like they'll even sell like a pro stock, or what is it, a stock mod, right off the lot. They'll sell you a stock mod quarter mile drag demon that's street legal, right? Which is one of the myriad of versions of cars that they sell off of that single platform. And I think this is another version of this. What's different on this from the two you just mentioned?
Everything. There's nothing on the car that's identical other than the chassis itself.
There you go.
Everything is different. There's a new engine, new transmission, new new suspension. Everything is different. In the video, he says, they transferred as many pieces from the race series that they could over to the new one. They have been, prepping for this car for a while now. And,
that's why they homologate those cars for competition, and then what they do is they take those components, dump them right back into a production car.
Yeah, because I think the motive is to take out Porsche completely. And they're saying, based on all the aficionados, they are saying that this is going to take out, anything Porsche has to offer. BMW doesn't have anything remotely close to this.
No, they don't.
Nothing on the market. Even McLaren, I would say that they're working on the 620R, but the 600 LT, I would probably say the 765 LT is the closest thing that they have to this. But that it's still not anything like this. This is on another level. I watched the videos from Tim Shmee, and a couple other ones, and this is on a I shouldn't say hypercar. I would say it's definitely supercar level.
Supercar. It's supercar.
Yeah, it's supercar level. Supercar level. It's no wonder that the AMG GT series does depreciate like it does, because things like this come out and then, you're kind of left holding the bag and you're like, I don't know if I really want to hold on to the base model. Like this is it. This is where it's supposed to be.
I was gonna say, like when you get to like the GT models, man, it's like if you're gonna spend the money on an AMG, it's like, bro, like you may as well just go all in. And you know what I mean? Because as soon as you cop those, like you said, like the other shit kind of just drops off when the new shit comes out.
Mhm. Yeah, because even the GTRs, the AMG GTRs, those are, although they come down in price, they actually price very well right now on the used market. And so I would definitely keep that on my radar. If I was if I was trying to look for a different car that's front engine mounted,
Right.
that's definitely something, because this one doesn't have rear wheel steering. The other ones do. And you don't need rear wheel steering with this. The camera and stuff is already set up in a way that is kind of null and void. And then you start talking about hybridization. You're talking about 48-volt motors and stuff. Oh man, this is.
I'm a big fan of that, man. Hybridization all day.
Yeah. This is on a different level, man. And I mean, because I know Paul Bryant had talked about. He had sent this out a couple weeks ago. But I wanted to make sure we covered it. But
yeah, I wish Paul was actually here. Because he could definitely chime in on this conversation.
Yeah. Even the cabin, everything in the cabin is different.
Look at the front, dude. Look at the grill.
Yeah. The grill.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say the grill has been set up to allow more air to come in because of all the heat exchangers that's in there.
Well, I'm just kind of looking at the fact that it has a touch of nostalgia, that grill, that front grill right there. If you notice, I can't remember which model Mercedes. It's one of the classic Mercedes models, and it has a grill similar to that right there. And so it's sort of like they took from that, they slapped it on the front, right, to kind of visually give you a reminder of the brand. But damn, dude, everything else around it, holy shit.
Yeah, especially in that color. You got to own a color.
Yeah.
Like that. You buy a car like that, you got to own a color like that too. I think that should be standard.
I would get it in matte black if it were me.
Yeah, and the wing is
matte black.
And the wing is actually motorized in the center, so it actually flips.
Okay, so it's I'm trying to remember what the term is called. I think it's ARS, where basically, so the car in real time measures air density, and then what it'll do is it'll pivot or adjust the. Porsche did this first. I want to say, is it the Boxer? The Boxer used to have a little rear spoiler that would pop up out of the back of the car.
Oh, that's different, man. That's different. That's for sure.
No,
but this right here.
This right here. This is. Look, they're both functional, right? The thing is that it's speed sensor detected. That's where the little spoiler would pop out, right? But this would be the same thing because there's cars that do deploy this in real time. I'm trying to remember some of the cars, but I think the technology is called ARS.
Yeah, well, McLaren did that with the air brake on the 12C series. Quite a few supercar manufacturers have been doing that for a while. Yeah. What I'm saying here is that this is all functional. This is extremely functional. I forget who was driving it, and they said you can feel the car kind of glue itself to the ground.
Exactly.
As you went. Yeah, and so McLaren, they did it with the 675 LT, 675 LT, 650S, 12C as well. Who else have done it? Volkswagen did it at one point. I think that was very limited on scale though with the with the Beetle.
Wait, what's that?
The air downforce on the wing, increasing the downforce with the wing.
That was like I said, Porsche did it. What model did Volkswagen do that with?
The RS, the Beetle RS.
The Beetle RS. Yeah. Oh, okay. The scoop off the back. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was or the spoiler off. Okay, I didn't know that. on the
Yeah,
RS.
yeah, yeah. And so let me grab the article from Drive. Yeah, the 2021 AMG GT Black Series will cost $389,000, or nearly the same as two GTR Pros. Yeah,
This
yeah,
is basically a road going race car.
yeah, but they're aiming for something bigger, right? I think they're looking to dominate Porsche. I mean, because Porsche has nothing on the market that can compete with this. Okay, I know Paul Bryant likes the GT2 RS Manti series, Manti Racing Series, the MR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might be so. Okay, I'll give you that. But this is built from the ground up to just be a complete, absolute monster.
Right, because it's not. There's nothing similar between it and its predecessors, largely outside of the shell.
Yeah, I think it's like 80% new. Everything
Yeah.
else is like 80% new. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the chassis I mean, the chassis has not really changed.
They've done some facial things, but this is the same car essentially.
Yeah, but they had to do all of this to accommodate the new engine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they had to do all that to accommodate the new engine. But all the downforce, because AMG is looking at this the same way Lotus looks at their cars. Make it lighter to make it faster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas BMW just they just throw a bigger engine or a bigger more horsepower rather than anything else, and the car still weighs the same for all intents and purposes. This is on a different level. Even the roof has been redesigned, I think, with carbon fiber or something like that. And so you can see the cutout. Well, let me go through the pictures. No, it's not there. Yeah, it's not there. The pictures aren't there. But point that I'm making here is that I want it, but I can't afford it. So what I have to do is buy a base model and then pretend that I'm going really, really fast and stuff. But
Or you take the Richard Fan approach, and you set up a stream of income that pays for that car,
mm-hmm.
like a stream of income solely for the car,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you have a stream of income that comes in, and you don't touch the money. It's literally like a fund just for the goddamn car. You do that, then
Mm-hmm.
perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, this is something though. This is something, man.
Dude, that thing is literally it's as if they took the GT3 race car and then just kind of changed some stuff on it to make it look like a road car.
Yeah, well, it was always those cars were always road legal though. I mean, there was nothing really holding
Well, I
it
mean,
back.
when you go full, like I'm talking about, like literally the Blancpain series GT3 cars. I mean, it's full race, but I mean, dude, like when you're talking about this version right here at 400K, because you figure the full blown GT3 race cars are probably like around 650, 700. This ain't. That's what I mean, dude. Like this is literally very, 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 very close to that.
Yeah.
And I think what happens is that there's such a leap between the highest performance CLK GTR, right? And then you have the race car. What do you have in between? You now have this one right here. And I think that's what when I see a CLK GTR, dude, I think of the race car, bro. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
I don't really see the like just the road going version, because those just look so pedestrian compared to the product that Mercedes puts on the track. This right here is a very close representation of that. So I think they kind of needed to do it because Porsche does that routinely. They put cars into production that are extremely close to the shit they put on the track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily need one of these to, for as a daily driver, but would be nice, right?
Mhm.
I look at this and I say, where did Chrysler go wrong with the Viper?
Man, the mergers and acquisitions.
They have
You
to be
already know what happens,
those right.
bro.
Yeah.
You know what happens when those acquisitions, the mergers, and all that shit happens. The performance brands are or like those segments are like the first to get their budget slashed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. But what I'm saying here is, Chrysler FCA has to be looking at this and saying, we had this, right? All of the characteristics of this car is not that much different than the Viper, other than the fact that it doesn't have a V10. And
Mhm.
so you don't really need a V10 for this. The twin turbo V8 is more than
It's more
sufficient.
than enough.
Yeah. But what I'm saying here is that Chrysler has to be looking at this and saying, yo, we dropped the ball. We had an opportunity to really get out there, because people are paying 100,000 for a Nissan GTR. Who would have thought that was a great idea, right? Same thing.
Oh, well, when you saw how it just completely obliterates anything it goes up against mainly, oh, then it's a great idea.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, you look at the Ford Mustang GT 500, and everything they've done with that. I mean, that's $100,000 car itself.
Mhm.
Same thing with the what is it, the Challenger Red Eye, Hellcat Red Eye. There's a lot of these cars that are just sitting at that six-figure mark, and no one bats an eye at buying them though. And so your Chrysler, you're kind of FCA, you're looking at this and you're like, we had a supercar. It was called a Viper, and we let it go.
You let it go. Had racing heritage, the whole nine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Le Mans winner. I mean, how do you don't drop like the models that have a heritage. Like for what look, Ford's gone through its periods where it's put out just a completely shit product of a Mustang, right? You think they dropped it? Hell, they even went ahead and went electric with the Mustang to show you how much they're all in on their iconic brand. They went all in on the Mustang. Even so much. Have you seen the video for the new electric that drift 1400 horsepower electric drift Mustang? To let you know how all in they are on their iconic brands or iconic marks. Like I said, man, like the acquisitions happen, and the bean counters look at what we spend the most money on and get the least return on. And it's always going to be the high performance sector. When it comes to like a Ford, a Chevy, a Chrysler, it's always going to be that high performance sector. They're going to go there, they're going to slash budgets there first, get rid of the models that cost the most money to make, sell the least. And they let it happen with the Viper.
Yeah. Yeah. But Mercedes has been very hush about this, in terms of like letting you hear like the exhaust system and exhaust notes and stuff like that. Everything's been synthesized, so that you can't really make out any comparisons between that and the old.
As they should too. Because like I said, I think this car, the pedigree of this car, very much is in line with the race car. I do see this very much as sort of like their version of the Porsche 911 GT3.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally the one where all you have to do, the car that all you have to do is pretty much put slicks on it, and it's a race car.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mercedes' version of that. I haven't, outside of like the remember they did that shit, what was it? The CL. I'm trying to remember what it was. There was the CLK LMGT. It was like a, yeah, it was the one where it's like it was $3 million to buy it.
Yeah.
And in order to because they had the huh?
DTM series.
Yeah, okay, there was that one, and then remember the one where it's the car that flipped at Le Mans, dude, back in like 2002. Remember, it was going down the Mulsanne Straight,
yeah,
and the air got up under it, and the fucking car flipped at like 212 miles an hour. Okay, the Mercedes built, I want to say like maybe like 12 of those, 15 of those, and they had to for homologation purposes. You know, so they have done it, but like I said, Porsche does it routinely with their models. They make a fucking street legal race version of damn near everything. Yeah, Mercedes, not so much.
Yeah, Neon Eyes, you know, has a question.
Okay.
Tesla will build their next gigafactory in Austin, Texas. Did you hear? Yeah, I've only heard. I don't know all the details and speculation behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Texas has a lot of real estate for dirt cheap, and so that's what Tesla's looking at. Yeah, go ahead.
They're also looking at places that will allow them to sell direct. See, that was the main problem with Tesla expanding, right, across the. See, Tesla's model is this, dude. They would like to build gigafactories across the United States. Okay, they would like to do that. Problem is legislation, because the way the current automotive sector works, there's a whole bureaucracy that you have to go through, right, to sell cars. Okay, now in California, since you know Silicon Valley is just right up the road, it's a tech company first, right? California's like, go ahead, build them, electric cars. I don't care, but right. Everywhere else, though, you have all these other automotive companies, businesses, and stuff, right? That essentially have no part to play in Tesla's supply chain, not a one. Maybe except for who's it, Mike? Is it Pirelli that provides Tesla? They provide their tires to Tesla. Do you remember?
I think Tesla has a variety of.
Or is it Continental? Continental, I think it is.
Yeah, because remember, most of Tesla's design is actually from Germany.
Right. Okay. They have they have a bespoke tire that they use because of the weight of the car. Outside of that, though, damn near everything within a Tesla vehicle is proprietary. Okay. There really isn't much of a okay. So like, let's just say Tesla goes to Texas. I mean, how do people really do business with Tesla outside of customer and seller, right? There's no automotive sector that you can't take a Tesla to a third party. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't do nothing like that. So Tesla largely freezes out the macro automotive sector. And so if it comes in as a disruptor and people look at it and they go, oh, electric. Dude, once they pivot and leave they get rid of their Camry and go Tesla, that's it.
Well, Toyota buyers are usually pretty repeat buyers because of the Prius and stuff like that.
Well, I didn't. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I shouldn't have said Toyota, because Toyota is known for longevity, right? I don't know. Ford, Chevy, Lincoln.
Yeah, most of Tesla's buyers are actually middle class sort of buyers.
Yeah.
They usually, and I think there was a survey, some research that was done. They usually own an iPhone, an iPad,
right?
And they usually have access to a garage,
right?
So that they own some form of. They have a house,
a home or a townhome with a garage where they can charge, and right.
Yeah, so they're already a part of a certain demographic to begin with.
Right.
But
I mean, yeah.
But, you know, Neon Eye says they plan to hire 5,000 employees to start and run it. Yeah, you need it. Yeah, you need that sort of manual labor, and Texas has a lot of manual labor down there, so it doesn't surprise me.
And it's a gigafactory, so you know, like the way it's done is everything's done in house. Like everything is done in house. You got to look at what kind of car it is. It's basically just an electric motor, controller, and batteries, and a computer, and a chassis. You know what I mean? So, no need to have engine plant over here, chassis plant here, this plant here, that plant there. No, you just need one. And you realize too that basically because of the components, you can essentially build every Tesla product in-house. So it's not just cars, it's the power walls, it's all that other shit too. So Gigafactory serves multiple purposes.
Yeah. Paul G says that they met in Tulsa last week, I think.
Hey, dude, you want to know why Tesla stock is at about $1,600 right now? This is why. They look, somebody like a company like Tesla starts talking about going to different states where they were basically frozen out, and now those states are like, look, come here, build cars, employ people. Guess what happens to their stock price?
Yeah, keep in mind that when you have manufacturing selection like that, right? You need to place a facility somewhere. It's not always whatever the politicians say, but more about how the access to utility, right? You need power, you need water resources.
Yep.
If you don't have access to that stuff, you're screwed. It's going to cost you a lot more money to bring it in. And so they look at, the architects and the developers look at what's best for a facility like that. How much would it cost them to actually do something like that? Because it's a labor-intensive operation to actually build a factory out. Rackspace bought
That's pretty much
mall.
what they require.
Yeah, Rackspace bought a mall some years ago, thinking that they were going to turn it into this big, massive data center. And what they found out was that the mall's location was not sufficient for the power that they needed. They would have to tap a whole and completely different grid just to get enough power there to run the data center inside the mall.
Gosh, who was their logistics person, man? Like, you gotta scope out a potential place of business based on your requirements, man. Like they didn't test that one out.
Well, they must have had a lot of cash to spend, and somebody probably said this is a good deal.
Probably sold them a bill of goods.
Yeah. Well, I don't think so much of a bill of goods, but the idea made sense. It was just, how do you bring that much power in there? Data centers eat up a lot of power at the time that this was happening. So I'm pretty sure that data centers now are a lot more efficient power-wise because of the small processors and advancement in technology.
Right.
And I don't even know if they still own that property.
And but the thing is for Tesla too, and not to digress off of Mercedes, but the other thing with Tesla too is because Austin is essentially the tech center of Texas. It's the Silicon Valley of Texas. It would only make sense for them to go there.
Yeah.
It would only make sense.
Yeah. I wonder if Neon Eyes is she knows anybody that's gonna be working there. Is she gonna be working there?
Yeah, curious. Yeah.
Said over $1 billion budget for that venture. Yeah, this is long term. Yeah, they're thinking about the long term aspect.
Like I said, dude, go look at Tesla's stock price, man. I got some of it myself. I'm not a certified financial planner, so don't take what I'm saying as to investment stuff, but I'm just letting you know that if you look at the stock price and what it's been doing, and then you look at the maneuvers that Tesla is starting to make as these other states, that shit that they pulled, man, the last few years with Tesla came to bite them in the ass. Okay, just like cannabis. Mike, we talk about this fourth industrialization. Look, man, what is the future? It's electric cars. It's a electrification of all things. It's automation. It's all this shit. If states are going to close themselves to this, what in post-COVID United States, man, what are they going to do?
Let me see. We got Salchi in the chat. We got Scott Hayward.
Peace, brothers.
Yep. Yeah, Neon 9 says we have more land too, which is important for running in. Yeah.
Texas is a very big state.
Yeah, Texas is an energy superpower within itself.
Yep. Oil, wind, you know, alternative energy. I mean, you know, see, my dad's from Texas, man. So I used to go there a lot when I was a kid. My mom lived there for about 10 years. So, you know, I got roots in Texas, man. Texas is a big place. It's a big place, a lot of resources. There's lots of opportunity there. Texas largely was just kind of plagued by the stigma of it being a southern state, you know. But I think particularly since about 2010, with, you know, the advent of South by Southwest, you know, the sort of like, it started out as a music festival. My buddy of mine, he was going there. He was performing there for like a string of maybe like 5 years from about 2008 to 2013. And then South by Southwest turned into sort of like a tech conference. It used to be a music festival type of thing, and then it turned tech. And then that's what Austin really started to become known for, as people started congregating down there for South by Southwest, and then really started to see the opportunity in setting up shop there, you know. And the reality is Texas has a lot. They have a lot of land, man, a lot of land, a lot of resources, a lot of space, a lot of people, a lot of talent. It's kind of like California, man. It's just big.
Well, yeah, and then you don't have to worry about earthquakes.
Yeah, right. You you don't have to worry about that. That's for sure.
No, Dr. Phoenix is here as well. Dr. Phoenix says the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT is a sexy ride, one of my future rides. Yeah, the price has come down a lot. It's below that of a C8 now, if you can find one. My only problem is that I'm 6'3", 6'4". It's a really tight fit.
Wait, in the Mercedes?
In the AMG GT series.
In the AMG GT? Okay. I've never been in one, but I'm 5'10", so I don't think I'd have a problem.
Oh, well, good for you. We got to go right.
What's up, fellas? What's going on?
Yo.
I'm Blakes.
Hey, what's going on?
I tried to hit you up, man. What's up, man?
Man, when?
I hit you up today, man. Earlier.
Oh, you know what? I was probably asleep, dude.
Oh, you always sleeping, naked.
No, I did. I took a nap earlier, dude. So there probably was when I was asleep.
And I got the little one be running you around, man. I know how that goes.
You know, it's just, bro, it's hot out here, man. And so I get out here, I start doing stuff in the morning. I get zapped by about like 1 o'clock, dude. I'm like, fuck, man, let me take a quick nap. I get up early. I get up early too, man. That's the thing, man. I like by habit, I get up at like 6:30 or 7 every morning, man. That's even on Saturdays and Sundays. So it's like even on the weekends, by about 12, 1 o'clock, I've been doing some stuff, worked up a sweat. I've been up since like 6:37. I'm like, shit, man, let me go knock out for a second.
I can dig it.
Yeah, man, that's what happens, bro.
No problem. I'm with you, man. What cars are you guys looking at, man? One of my friends, he just bought a C7 Vet. I think it was Z06 or whatever. It's a nice car. I think he paid $35,000 for it.
Well, we're looking at this CLK GT. What is it? Black.
AMG GT Black Series.
Black Series. It's about 400K.
400.
About 400K, bro.
Well, it's AMG GT, so you know they're coming up. That's what I'm saying. That's their racing division.
Well, but this right here, according to Mike, this right here is literally okay. The only thing that's CLK about this is the show.
No, the only thing AMG GT.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm saying AMG GT about it is the shell, like, but underneath what you're looking at is all new car.
What's the engine? What's the displacement on it?
What, 700 horsepower?
700 horsepower? That's BHP, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Neon Eye says, yeah, when I attend South by Southwest, I attend mostly tech and art events and live panels. I think one of the biggest issues that we've had as Black people, we don't really have a venue to really have these sort of the same discussions that they're having down there.
Isn't that Afro tech thing supposed to be that?
Yeah, but the thing is, it only happens maybe once or twice a year, and it doesn't attract the same amount of people. One of the big issues in tech is that there are Black people who are down for the cause, and then there's Black people who are not. And what happens a lot more times than not is that Black people who are not down for the cause are basically just white people in blackface. And so it doesn't always resonate as much. And so things like South by Southwest attract a certain demographic of people. But we're never really at the forefront of those type of discussions and panel discussions like she had attended Neon Eyes. And so,
yeah, I saw the videos that she did where she was demoing like VR shit and stuff like that. I saw the videos that she did where she was down there. Yeah. Well, she's absolutely right, and you're absolutely right, dude. You know, because like I said, man, my buddies were actually performers down there for about 5 years, straight, man. You know, they were like dudes that were going down the South by Southwest, and you know, this is when I was in Chicago. You know, wifey was going through what she was going through, and they were just kind of telling me about everything. This was, like I said, man, 2012. You know, 2012, 2013, and you know, it was the tech sector that was coming out. That's who was coming out. You know, the movers and shakers in that industry, because it started as a music thing, and then music and tech had a convergence, right? So now you have a music festival, you de facto have a tech festival. Yep. And there you go.
Yep. Yeah. Dr. Phoenix says that Z06 is going for $35K right now.
Isn't that what Nagon just said his buddy bought? Or is that a Z07?
I don't know what Nagon's buddy bought.
Yeah. That was Z06. Yeah, I just told him that.
Yeah, 35. Yep.
Right, I just bought for 36 grand. You know, he's kicking it around. He actually lives in Ohio, near Columbus, and he actually took a plane down to place. This was in Kansas City, so I think this one had a total of 14,000 miles on it. 15,000 miles, had very low mileage, and we went down there and picked it up, drove it back, and he thought it was the car was kicking pretty strong. It was a 2000. It was a 2015, I think it was. It was 15 or 14, one of those. But he banged it back up, man. Thought it was crazy. So you know, they got vets out there for fairly cheap prices. You know, that you can you can buy, you can even finance them. So they're fairly cheap. So these are not very expensive cars as of right now.
No, that makes sense. I mean, because COVID recession got people jumping out of the window, man. You know, looking to offset assets, man. Especially those Z06s, those Stingrays, those things are coming out of the garages, man. You know, dealerships aren't taking them back, but
it's a buyer's market right now, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, for this type of shit, it is a buyer's market, dude. Even for like karting and stuff, man, there's so much shit that typically would have costed me thousands. Well, it'll cost me it'll cost me thousands, but not nearly the amount of thousands. It's a buyer's market out here for all this.
Yeah. Yeah. You get guys like Sauchi who can't wait to get himself into an M2 competition series.
It's getting close to that time where you can make a deal, bro. I'm gonna tell you, it's a buyer's market, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm seeing, again, I live in the DMV, so I've been, I was expecting to see a lot of exotics, but I really honestly been seeing a lot of Lambo SUVs, brand new, like a lot.
Yeah.
Every weekend, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good luck to those guys. The appreciation is gonna eat them alive with those SUVs. Look like idiots. But anyways, what's your thoughts on this AMG GT Black Series?
I've seen the regular one. Obviously, I have not seen that one in person. I personally, I like it. Again, I mean, my thing is when you stop, for lack of words, playing with those type of cars, man. I think a lot of the guys that get lazy, and they really need to take classes, man. Just invest, $5-10 grand and learn how to really drive those cars. That's why you hear a lot of those guys, crashing or killing somebody in those cars. But it's a solid car, man. Mercedes, they're not going anywhere. I mean, look at the F1 team. Obviously, Lewis Hamilton is killing them again this season. So the money's going to be there for them.
7 times. It's going to be 7 times.
Well, of course, everybody's hating. Oh, it's just Mercedes. Nah, man. The dude is a killer.
Whatever.
He's a killer. He's a killer on the track, and that's that. So no matter what, I mean, the Germans they're A students, man. I mean, they may start off slow, but once they get on, it's a wrap. So when it comes to this electric car stuff, man, I don't know, Tesla. I've been saying this for the last 5-7 years, man. I'm like, Tesla's gonna have real competition with the Germans, man.
I don't know. I think the Germans are going to come back, within the next year or so, especially if they have an electric version of this or a hybrid version of this AMG GT Black Series, because this isn't the end of it. This is
Oh, you best believe that hybrid version's coming. Yeah. 900 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower watch.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously Tesla was the first break. And then I would say the second big break, or second and third around the same time, was the McLaren P1 and then the Porsche. So these guys, they're not, if they're doing it at supercar, levels, man, the tech is already there. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, I just think Mercedes is going to do it first, only because they have the supply chain, and just looking at the F1 team and their sales, they have everything.
Well, they won't be the first to do it.
Well, I mean, out of the Germans. That's what
I'm saying. They won't be the first, dude. Porsche's there. I'm sorry, Porsche's there when it comes to, because we were just touching on this earlier. See, what it is this: Porsche already does what Mercedes just did. It's just that Mercedes just came with some shit that that really is going to make you look left to Mercedes real quick, right? We already know Porsche to do what they do. They already put a damn near race car like in the showroom for you to buy, just with street tires. They've been doing this. They make a race ready version that you can buy for the street for just about every model that they make. Mercedes, not so much. They do the homologation models, which is kind of what I said this is right here. Because when you look at the price point, dude, that's $400K for a CLK, $400K for a CLK, right there. Yeah. Okay. So if you're gonna pay $400K for a CLK, there's something to this that you're paying for, right? And when we look beneath the surface of this car, Mike said, dude, 80% of this car is not what the other models are. That means that you're buying something else with this shit.
Yes.
It's kind of like Ferrari a little bit that they're kind of, that they're trying to kind of rise up to maybe. I mean, everybody's coming out with a super duper car, so this is a super car. 400K, that's,
that's damn near $500,000, bro. Well, it's $500,000 damn near $500,000 when you walk out.
Dude,
Yeah,
that was my last family house I bought with my ex-wife. I mean, for real. That's what that was. So I mean, that's a driving crib, dude. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a lot of money,
man. You got to set up a separate stream of income solely for the car. It's the Richard Fain model, bro. That's how you do it.
If you're gonna buy a car like this, I would say economically, you have to have net worth around 10 million at least. About 10 million. I'm figuring.
Like I said, you have a business or something that literally just pays for the car, bro.
I mean, you have to have that because even as a single millionaire,
that's what I mean. Right, that's a lot of money.
That's what a lot of those guys do, man. A lot of the guys that can really actually afford these type of cars, the common person, they don't even understand that game because a lot of these guys, their fleet is not even 10% of their net worth.
Right.
Not even 10. So like the money they're spending to us seems like, oh my God, to them it's like it's like us going to go buy like a freaking, not even a Honda Civic. I don't even like a cheap motorcycle. Seriously.
These cars are also investments for them.
They are. Mike, I was just about to go there. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Speak on it.
Yeah, those cars don't depreciate in value. So I was at the McLaren dealership last week and had this conversation with them, and they said a lot of millennials, surprisingly, they had 80 McLarens at the turn of the year before COVID. Now they're down to less than 40. Okay, as of this week.
And who bought most of them?
Millennials are buying them.
Wow. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a millennial. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's Boston. You're in Boston. I take that back. Nope.
No, but no.
I would say it's going to be LA. I would say pretty much any big market.
No, it's these Asian students that are coming.
That's why definitely LA then, because anybody that you do. I got a quick story. Matter of fact, I have the video on my channel. Mm-hmm. So we did a track day out at Willow Springs one day, right? I had a couple dudes. These are some dudes from Germany who came out to test some carts that we had. During the test session, 2 Chinese exchange students, right, fucking pull up in a Maserati. And they come to me and they go, "We want to drive?" And I was like, "Excuse me?" They're like, "We want to drive. Can we drive it? Like, how much?" And I was kind of sitting here, right? I'm kind of like, I got this smile on my face, like, oh, holy fuck. So I go, because I'm the team manager, right? So I go over to the team owner and I'm like, hey, Charles, hey, they want to know how much to fucking rent, dude. And he looks at him and it's like these 2 like slim Chinese chicks, man, in a fucking Maserati.
Yeah.
Yeah, UCLA students.
Yeah, they in a few years ago when I was still in Rhode Island, the first and only GTR that was driving around downtown Providence was I never got to speak to her because she was always driving. Well, I don't know exactly what she was, but I would assume she was either Chinese or Japanese. You know, she was a college student. I believe she was going to Johnson & Wales. The only reason why I saw her is because I had my own little title company, so I was out and about during the day. And I would always see her, and I'm like, "Yo, this chick is really this is definitely her car." But what happens is that their family or their dad, of course, mainly their dad, is still out in their country. He has money, so how it would work would be normally they would literally go to the dealership, call up not her, but what normally would happen, they call up the dad at the dealership. This is the car I want. Okay, send you a wire. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's normally how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're playing with big money. I haven't got from you who's McLaren. A yellow and black one. His car is crazy looking. You know, I sat down in his car, but that sucker sitting kind of low, man. You sitting low to the ground, man. I'm a big boy. Right? I'm a big boy. I ain't climb off the ground. So I'm like sitting. Man, you grabbing him like a toilet seat, man. I'm like, I don't know, man. So sitting kind of low for me, man. But anyway, it's a nice car, but you know. Ridiculous fast, crazy fast. But anyway,
yeah. The thing is, when I was at the dealership, he was saying the millennials are actually coming in and buying it during COVID, and so they know every single McLaren that is driving around because they're the only ones who deal with it. So I pointed out a couple of McLarens that I had saw in Boston, and he said, they know they know these people by face, they know who they are, and it's really these Harvard, MIT kids that are buying them, and he said they have a lot of cash burning, they had a lot of Bitcoin that they turned over, and this is where they come to dump their money, and so and they don't own homes or nothing like that. They still stay in apartments and stuff. So I think there's a misnomer about supercar buyers that somehow, you got to have this many assets, you got to have this, you don't have to have all that stuff, man. They've arranged ways to own cars. That's why on YouTube you see a lot of these channels where guys are just driving around in Lambos and stuff like that and doing cannonball runs and stuff. Hey, they figured out ways to finance these vehicles.
Well, I was gonna say, dude, like I said, man, what they do is they have a stream of income that pays for the car, right? Let's just say I start perfect example. I'll just use Richard Fain. Okay, so he flips Rolex watches on eBay.
Yeah.
Okay, him flipping Rolex watches on eBay pays for his shit. That now the money for that is completely separate from all the other shit that he does.
Yeah.
Like he was breaking down the whole shit. He's like, you want to know why I got a Ferrari 458 Italia, I got a CLK GTR, and then I think he had something else because he has two separate streams of income that pays like for the cars in sum total. Okay, that's separate from like his real estate holdings and all that other shit. So he separates it. Mike, what you were just saying, a lot of these dudes, okay, they did exactly what you just said, dude. They got bred up in crypto. Okay, they got bred up in crypto like a few years back, and then what they did was they went ahead, flipped some of the money, made a channel, and then said, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make content based on supercars. Now I make money off the fucking channel to pay for the shit.
Well, not just that, because the channels are kind of separate, but channels generate a lot of sponsorship too.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the marketing.
But what I'm saying, but some of that is like, let's just say 50% marketing, 50% compensation. Some of it is in parts, for example. So when these dudes just get boxes of fucking blow off valves, turbos, intercoolers, all that kind of shit. That's how they get fronted that shit. Because if you were just to pay the money for that shit, man, like, look, the person who doesn't really know how this shit works would sit back and say, God damn, this dude just must be fucking rich. And yes and no. Go ahead, Salty.
I mean, normally what happens is, or what's more consistent with people who have, real money, minimum they have 3 sources of income. Normally what I see is 3 to 5. But what you're seeing with the younger guys, they're using social media as a marketing tool. Like literally, it's just the marketing tool for whatever. So then they can get sponsors, or they have other side businesses that you don't even know about. But they're just using social media or, these, cannonball runs, this, that, and the third. It's just marketing just because that's just a passion of theirs. And all their serious business you don't even freaking know about. And that's where their real money's coming from. This other stuff is just fueling itself, literally. So they're not losing anything.
Right.
A lot of these guys who code, man, they kind of their own freelancers. So they make quite a bit of a change, from doing a lot of that stuff, man. And it's not a whole lot of money that needs to go down on these cars. Like some people
think.
Right. These cars are made to be moved in high volume. And
say, Mike, they don't have to they don't do a whole lot of mods to this shit anyway, these things.
No, you
don't need to.
You don't need to. No, it's a supercar. You don't really mod.
You don't need to.
They don't really do a whole lot of shit. Really, it's Saushi. It's just you just hit it right on the head, dude. It's really just social media shit. Dude, there's only a couple channels that I follow where motherfuckers do legit builds. Yeah. Okay, Rob Dam, for example. Okay, legit builds. Okay, like legit builds. Other guys, it's more of a I got this car, and then look at this. This company shipped me all this shit, And then, oh, we're just gonna put it on the car, and then look at this, it's cool. Come on, dude.
Yeah, you could tell the difference between who is who. I mean, especially if you're a car guy, but the real guys, man, they're not stupid, and they're way above average. Like the average person, consumers that are just watching them, they're thinking, "Oh, I can do that." No, you can't. These guys, they're marketing it properly. They seem like they're average Joes. They're fucking not average Joes.
No, they're not
at all.
No,
at all.
The dude who does the B for Build channel, like, the reason why I love that channel, because he's really cool. He's from Oregon. He's like he's kind of aloof. He's just like a really cool dude. But man, this dude's engineering chops are off the charts. So he like completely designed a single-seater race car that they're doing a build on, right? They're building it up right now. And, you know, he just kind of talks about it, like he shows you all the CAD shit and how they're going to 3D print stuff and all this and all that. But he just talks about it as if like, oh, yeah, I'm just doing this. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so it's like he actually shows what goes into doing this type of shit. And that's how you can kind of separate these channels. The dudes who are doing legit fucking builds, who have an engineering background, versus the guys who, like, you know, like we just been talking about, they just have separate streams of income set up. And they're just pursuing their passions. I love cars.
A lot of them are trust fund babies too.
That too.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention one by name. He's a dude I follow. I like his channel because he does dope shit, but straight up, man, that's exactly what it is, dude. I ain't gonna say his name.
No. Let's go to Dr. Phoenix. He's on the panel.
Oh, hey, what's up, Doc?
What's going on? Peace, brothers. How you guys doing?
What's going on, man?
Good.
Not much. No, I was just this was a fun conversation, so I thought I'd get a little piece of it. Now I'm really feeling that the AMG GT, that Black Series, man. Hey, it's a perfect car for me. But there's actually videos on YouTube you can watch where the base AMG GT model was actually beating a Corvette Z06, the C7 model.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that car was down almost 100 horsepower to the Z06, and still specifically beating in the top end. That car has
just a better engineered car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a twin turbo. The AMG is a twin turbo.
Yeah. So, I thought, what was that?
Well, yeah. I mean, the AMG. Well, we know. The common person, they don't know. I mean, AMG, it's its own entity. So I mean, you know, a lot of Americans don't understand. You know, I understand the American pride, but you know, a lot of times I tell them, like, bro, man, certain cars, man, you just can't compare. Like, I get it, you know, a Dodge Viper or even the Corvette. Okay, straight line, but when you start turning, the Germans, they don't need as much power, and they just gonna kick your ass. I mean, there's a reason why it costs more.
But it's a better balanced car, you know.
Exactly.
You know, and the geometry of the car is a little bit different. It's designed really for road racing. I mean, when you look at American cars, you know, let's talk about, you know, because I used to love the Chrysler line, because they had the SRT, which and the SRT line was what would be akin to what, you know, let's say you know, what the AMG line would be for Mercedes.
Right.
Yep.
And when you looked at any SRT car except the Viper, which was basically a race car that they designed and then they tried to make it streetable, and had a lot of issues there as well, because people were driving them all off the road and shit. They didn't know how to really drive a car like that. But the SRT line, it's you know, those cars were strong, but they were really more of, you know, they were kind of more of a quarter miler. You know, you weren't going to get on the road with that car and road race with that thing, you know, because they were too heavy, too top heavy, not really well balanced. And you know, AMG was going to eat that car alive. You know, we would eat any of those cars alive.
Wait, you're talking about the Viper?
Except the Viper. You know, the Viper was
I was going to say, because when the French got a hold of it,
yeah. The Viper was a race car. The Viper was never a production car they put on the track. That was a race car.
Yeah, and then you needed to know how to drive that thing. Yeah.
And then Then they tried to put that thing on the road. I just saw a lot of guys fucking those cars. I think I saw some guy in Ventura, California. He was driving up a mountain. This is a car that was when the Viper had first come out. 450 horsepower. Still, the car was still lightning edge. Very, very powerful. No anti-spin control, nothing on that. You were driving a race car. This guy was just like, spun off. I thought the guy took his car down. He must have took about a 6-foot drop, but it was on one little setback, and then there was another bigger setback behind. I was like, these guys are literally driving these cars off of the fucking highways, man. Driving the cars off of the road. They couldn't control them.
Well, you want to hear something to what you guys were saying a few moments ago about YouTubers and folks and all these. When I was in undergrad, there were a lot of the Asian. The Asian students, for the most part, drove better vehicles than the professors and even the chancellor and deans of the school. And I remember one day I was pulling up, and this Asian kid pulled up in a damn Ferrari, and the goddamn student parking lot. And I'm just, my jaw was just dropping. This little baby face kid gets out of a damn car, and you just sitting there just looking like, what the hell is this? Again, a lot of these kids, they're coming over. They're coming over to the States to be educated. Their parents are back at home in China. Parents are rich, and so they're funding all this stuff. On top of that,
hey, Dr. Phoenix, real quick, I was gonna say there's a YouTube channel. I think you probably you're saying this. I'm thinking you probably are familiar with this kid who's got like a Lambo, a BMW Z. I'm trying to remember what he's got. He's this kid. He's on YouTube. He's got like maybe 1 million+ followers and all that. He's one of these kids that you're talking about.
Yeah. And there's actually a few positions that I subscribe to. One of them is a general surgeon, and he actually has a GT3, and he brought that thing. But this dude has like a GT3, a Porsche Cayenne twin turbo, top of line model, and he has an Audi RS
6.
Yeah, RS7.
Oh.
And yeah.
Damn.
This dude's like, but he's single, no kids. He's a general surgeon, works out in the boonies and making a guap of money, but he also has some other streams of income he does. Like he was doing stuff around he had one stream where he was like endorsing some vitamin, some vitamin, some supplement, some health supplement. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah. But what you guys were saying earlier is absolutely right. These folks, you don't necessarily need a lot of money, but these folks do have other streams of income that specifically support those car hobbies, if you will.
Yeah, one of the things is when you go into the supercar buying market is that the banks or the lender looks at your previous car purchases. So there's supercar lenders, okay, in this market.
Yeah.
They don't, if you haven't been in a supercar before, then what happens here, it becomes more difficult for you to obtain it. And so that's why you see this sort of lateral progression for some guys, right? Or for some of these customers. I don't want to say guys because there's women out there doing it now too. They go from a Z06 or some kind of Corvette, and then they graduate into something else, and that's probably more linear, like a 911, and then they go from a 911 to something like a GT3 or something like that. That's how they look at it. If you haven't been in a supercar before, you're not getting in one. You could have a 750 credit score, and they may turn you down because they don't trust you behind the wheel of that vehicle. In lending you the monies for it, because if you total it the same day, they're pretty much SOL too, and they don't want that. And so that's what they'll look at.
They'll look at previous. You'll look at your previous registration records, like the type of cars you've had.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like if you've had cars,
so they can tell by your financial history if you've paid off a supercar before.
Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's literally going to look into your past automotive ownership records, right? to say like, is this a worthy buyer for this car? Because that is, you got to understand, man, like when you have a reputation, you sell the car to a wrong person, they do something stupid with it, like it's not a good look.
Yeah, let's go to
It's
Farrell.
a whole different tribe.
Yeah, it is. Let's go to Farrell.
What up?
Benz
Wait,
gang in
is
this.
that
What's good
Farrell?
with it,
Benz gang.
Benz
What up?
gang.
There he is, Benz gang. There he is.
Man. I've waited literally like 3 years for them to have this whole, like, I've been following up so close, and I was just so happy when they finally, when it was finally revealed. And then I want to go see it in person because I'm taking my home time on Labor Day weekend, and come to find out, RBM, where I got my bands from, they said they're actually gonna actually have a viewing of the car in Atlanta. And I was like, okay, I already got my ticket. I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna take plenty of pictures.
Good
man,
shit.
that wing on the back of it, man, just looked deadly, bro. It looks like an official track car. Like,
look, man, when you get them snaps, we're gonna fire up another live, man. We need you to share them.
oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is, man, how tall are you, Farrell? Like 6'10"?
No, I'm 5'10", so
5'10".
He's the same. We the same height, bro.
It's like the
He's
same
good.
height.
He's good. He'll fit in it. He's good.
Yeah.
I always thought you was like 6'10" or something like that, man.
Man.
Now you're like the same height as the voice of the everyday brother, man.
Now taller.
Taller.
No. We good on ours, man. 5'10", bro. We straight.
Yeah, man. You might have to get you a Mini Cooper, man. It's more practical.
Damn. That's that tall man talk.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man.
But
yeah, man. These are real. Man, these are real tight. If you're over 6 feet, these are real tight. In my experience, test driving them, they're really tight. Now this one.
When have you ever known Mercedes to have a tall driver? Germans have had tall drivers.
Well, the dude who Inderis, I think that's just how you pronounce his name, the one who's the president of the GT3 I guess brand for GT3 and GT2s for Porsche. Okay. He's over 6 feet himself. I think.
Well, that's what I mean. I think I said that wrong. Mercedes has never had tall drivers, dude. You know how short Lewis Hamilton is?
No. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton like 5'7".
Yeah, he's 5'7".
I was about to say about 5'7". Yeah, 5'7".
All the drivers have been short dudes.
Yeah,
the Surgeon General, I think he's what 5'7" too, right?
Who?
The one
the brother.
Yeah, the brother.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, all the smart guys are all short, so that's why women should get with smart guys.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah. And they live longer.
Yeah.
Well,
on average.
Oh fuck.
On average.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well, that brother, with the Surgeon General, he got him a baby, so he all.
But it's something that you guys said about the whole thing when they track back, with the type of car that you drive, because that is true, Mike. And they my dealer, when I bought the car, he was telling me the same thing. He was like, hey, some of these GTRs, we don't even sell people sometimes with a 750 or up towards an 800 credit score if they haven't had experience at least in like at least like 350 plus horsepower in a car. A lot of people that tend to get in these cars, they came out of either Nissan Altimas or like, or Toyota Priuses, and they try to like hop into, and I was like, no, because actually my next vehicle, which I was going to get for 2022, is the I was going ahead and get the big boy GT63S.
Oh yeah.
So that 630 horsepower. So he said, "Hey man, come on back." He said, I recommend you to customize yours because we don't have a lot stock. It's usually like either 2 or 3 at the lot, but it's not to the specification that that people how they want it. So that what you said is true, man. If you don't have no experience and driving these high power cars, they won't even put you in it. Some of these rappers and these artists, I wish they'll stop putting them in the cars, man. Because what's a rapper named Rock?
Bro, they don't put them in the cars, bro. Like, look, there was I'm trying to remember who the
These are
rapper
like
was.
secondhand dealers that they get those cars.
I was about to. There you go, Dr. Phoenix.
Okay.
Because look, there was a rapper. I'm trying to remember. This was back in like 2014. I want to say it was.
It was one recently.
It was the brand new. I'm trying to remember. It was a BMW. I'm trying to remember what model it was. He had it in the video. Whole bunch of ratchet shit going on, right? Guess who filed a fucking lawsuit and said, take our car out of that motherfucker.
BMW. I think was it an M5?
No, I think it was an i8.
That's what it was.
One of those i8.
It was an i8. Yeah. They were like, no. You ain't about to associate our product with this bullshit. Nope.
Yeah, you're right then. Because if it's second part, because it's at least about 2 rappers. Lil Yachty done crashed his Ferrari, and some rapper named Rod Wave. He just crashed
some dude just crashed his shit.
Yeah. And they were both, and they were all pistas, man. I was like, what are they doing? Nah, man. I'm like, what are you putting in the 488s?
That's why I said earlier, man. They need to take those driving courses. That should be a requirement, man. Like, I mean, people really think coming from even now, I mean, because of the computers, I mean, now some normal cars have 300 horses. I mean, from 300 to 450 rear wheel,
that's a lot.
It's not a game.
Yeah,
that's not a game.
A lot of these cars are driven by computer too, right? So
and they're still crashing them.
It's all fly by wire throttle and shit. You're absolutely right, Mike.
The thing is, a lot of these rappers are not paying for these cars out of their pockets. It goes through the label.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so label owns it. It's out of their hands. Their credit score is all jacked up anyway, so it doesn't even matter. It is. Most rappers are like that, man. Most rappers. Yeah, and they never had. You got Comcast, Verizon, RCN, and all these sort of utilities open up in their name, and they're running around with gold teeth in their mouth looking crazy. But the point here is that they're not in control of the vehicles that they're in possession of. They're not really.
Yeah, they don't. It's not in their name. They don't fucking own them.
Yeah. So because they don't have the credit worthiness to do it, and so a lot of people think that because they have a lot of money, that they just go out there and splurge on all these cars. Some of them do. Okay, some of them do because they want to show off. They trick it off, but a lot of the times the labels, if it's a big label, they'll have it all structured up that they have access to these vehicles because they're corporate leases.
And I'll tell you right now, a lot of those cars that they get, dude, those are cars that are acquired on the secondhand market. They're not going directly to McLaren, Lamborghini, Ferrari,
That's right.
Car. No, because they're not going to take that type of financial risk, because essentially what they do is they take essentially an advance. When you're like an artist and you're signed to a label, you're basically taking a loan out. Okay, you're taking a loan out. If you go to them and you tell them, hey, well, look, me being seen in a fucking Ferrari is gonna actually bring me more money back so I can pay the loan back. Guess what they'll do? They'll put you in a fucking Ferrari.
Yeah. That is how it works.
No, I agree.
Unfortunately.
A lot of folks really, especially dudes from the hood, they ain't never really drove any real high-powered cars. I mean, you drive. I guess the most for them is maybe a Dodge Charger, but even then, those cars aren't. I wouldn't call them fast or nothing like that. But if you drive like a 300 plus horsepower like rear wheel drive vehicle, it's a whole different story. I drove one for like 7 years, so and I drove it in the winters in Wisconsin. So yeah, you drive one of those high horsepower rear wheel drive cars, man. Those things will get skittish on you real quick in the wintertime.
And they can't
Oh, yeah.
even take control of these Challengers and Chargers out here, especially in Atlanta. They crashing them like hotcakes. I'm like,
They're
and
riding
not even
around.
yeah.
They're
not
riding
even
around on
Hellcat.
cheap Chinese tires by Nang.
yeah. The cheapest they can get. Well, yeah,
What, I'm trying to
what's
remember
the
the
cheapest tire
name.
you got,
I'm trying to
Kenny?
remember the name of the tire of it. What's that shit?
Sumitomo?
Shingo? No, Sumitomo.
Oh,
That's
Champo.
Chempo. They have like these. Yeah, they have the Chinese brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's funny because
Obama blocked those. Obama blocked those when he was in office. He made sure that those tires wouldn't be sold here again. They were having random explosions on highways. You know.
Yep.
Man, wow.
Yep.
You know, it's funny because I when I was in Atlanta a few years ago, I mean, I swear when you drive along, what's that, the 85 or whatever, and you,
Bruh.
man, that's all you see is dudes with 392s and shit.
Yep.
With some bullshit ass tires.
Damn.
Either in ditches, they spun out of control.
Yeah.
I'm like, and
Yeah.
it don't even be inclement weather. It be the sunniest day, bro.
Like
Dry.
what? Somebody spilled a coffee or something? A banana peel or something? What was it?
You thought they hit an oil flip or some shit,
A
man.
fucking banana peel, bro? Is that what happened to Mario Kart shit?
They don't know anything
A
about
fucking
they don't know
turtle
anything. They don't know the tires need to be warm. They don't
Yep.
know. Well, first and foremost, they're using their regular everyday tires.
Yep.
They don't understand, weight distribution. They don't understand. I mean, like, it's like, I mean, when I try to talk to some of them, even some family members, man, and when it gets heated, I just really geek out on them. Especially when I got my Beamer, my first Beamer. Oh, forget about it. I'm like, yo, bro, like you really think
Most
you're gonna
people don't
race
know how to
me
drive.
because you got more horsepower? They don't know exactly. They don't know how to drive, and I'm like, bro, I'm breaking your car down. You got a Nissan, blah 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 blah. I said, yo, I got a 330, 6-speed, 255s in the back. I know what you got. You got 225s, bro. 225 tires. You're not gonna be able to keep up, bro. I'm speaking
Why are you
Swahili.
talking to him like that? Why are you talking to him like that?
You have to.
It's horrible, man. Because if you really see, I think from factory, those 392s come with 370s or something on the rear, and I think you go in the hood, man. You see these dudes with these Chargers, well, the 392s or whatever, and I swear, man, they be having like two 40s on the rear, and then they have these massive ass rims on them.
Yep.
Stereo shop die cast metal.
Yep. And they
Jesus.
wonder why when you bought a car down here in Atlanta, the insurance company, they just got so tired of it. You paying more in insurance than some of these luxury cars. Like, I sat here and asked the guy, he went and got his. He was like, man, my insurance was just for the Challengers just as much as the payment. I said, bro, you know why?
Is he paying a 1-to-1 on his fucking his payment versus his insurance?
He got insured in his grandmama's name.
Because Granny's driving around in a fucking Challenger, right?
Oh yeah.
No.
It didn't do nothing.
Oh yeah.
What a lot of these guys don't understand is if you go to, I went to Bondart Racing School right there over there at Pocono, and you show your insurance company that you've taken a high performance driving class or a racing class, or you've gone for a racing license. For anybody who does that, your insurance goes down immensely. It goes down immensely. Most people know that until I did that, and then I understood exactly how the insurance companies look at you. They tear these other cats out the frame because they know they're getting all the shit on their car. They're going to drive it like crazy. A lot of these guys are going to have accidents. They're not going to know how to drive their cars properly. That's what they see, and they just look at these dudes as drive as big risks and big expenses. That's basically how they look at them, man. You just ask a guy a simple question. If your car fishtails out to the left, starts to fishtail out to the left, what do you do? How do you straighten your car out? Very simple answer to this. But most people will not know how to answer that question.
Man, if it fishtails, man, I just be on the block, man, get more fishtails, man.
if it fishtails, man, just give me a little tartar sauce, the motherfucker. I'll be all right.
Yeah, the Gordon's fishermen out here, dog.
Gordon's fishermen.
No, I swear, man, when I was in Atlanta, man, it was some real there was some real nigga shit going on down there. I mean,
Oh
'cause
yeah,
that,
I'm sure.
I swear half the dudes
Oh, I'm
down there,
sure.
you see them in 392s, man. I swear to God, man. They're in like half the dudes got 392s down there in Atlanta, man, and none of them can drive worth a damn. And,
Nah, it's
Sitting
not.
on sitting on 28s, bro. I never seen no bull, man. I'm like, man,
Y'all talking about donks?
man, they even it got so bad they was putting them on donks, man. I'm like, man, oh my god. I'm like, are y'all literally trying to become like Florida? Seriously?
Damn.
Wow.
You know,
I mean,
you know,
look,
you know, niggas actually race. They drag race donks.
Yeah. Yeah.
really?
That is that you like. You're yo.
Actually,
You're trying to defy the fucking laws of physics racing a donk.
there's a famous donk rider. You probably have heard his name. His name is Donk Master Sage Thomas. Yeah. He actually
I probably sub to his shit.
Yeah, you probably are. Vice, they did a little mini series and they literally got dudes set on between 1971 to 73 Chevy Impalas and Caprices on
Chevy.
28s. Box
Box
Chevys.
Chevys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Drag racing, bro. Down there in South
That's
Georgia
what I'm
Motor
talking
Speedway.
about right there.
Bruh,
that
I
right,
was
that
like,
shit right there.
what the hell?
Yep,
And his
I'm
shit,
sub to that shit.
he got his shit so souped up. Like his car and the engine, that's like 11 to 1300 horsepower, and he's riding on 28s like this.
That's what I mean, dude. It's
Oh,
like you're
God.
trying to defy the fucking laws of physics, bro. It's like,
Bruh.
oh, you know what? just let me throw horsepower at it. I'll just throw horsepower at it.
Just alpha your way through it.
Alpha your way through that shit.
There
Alpha
you
your
go,
way
man.
through physics, bro.
And matter, oh yeah, Nagone knows, probably knows, because he knows demonology. My boy Herman, they raced each other, and demonology lost. I mean, I don't know how that happened.
I follow demonology. Do you also follow? Fuck, what's the other brother? There's a brother who has a challenger.
A Mazda Fame.
Oh, Miles the Fame, yeah, I'll follow him.
Yep,
Yeah, because he's up there in New York, right? Up north, right?
Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nah, my boy Demon. That's my dog. That's my dog. He really knows how to.
His
He's
brothers
a great
out here, bro. His brothers out here doing this shit, bro.
No. Demonology is my dog.
Yeah, that's big homie. Herman, that's big dog, man. That's big homie. Because especially now what he about to do with that that demon, I think he's about 1500 horsepower. He built a whole new engine.
Yeah.
for it.
Well, he's going with
like,
the mods. He's going with the mods on it now. He's gonna mod it out because let me tell you, when he first got that car, and he really knew how to drive it, but the key thing was he put the right kind of tires on them. He didn't use the crap that they came with. You know, he threw them drag radial Mickey T's on them, the Mickey T's.
There you go.
The Mickey T's. And then he started to link up real nice on the road. He started to really catch really good, and boom, he was like he was snatching cells. He was snatching cells. But then
Mike,
other guys were coming out. I saw this one dude. He had a modded out, man, fucking Stang. Oh, holy shit! That Stang had everything in it, man. That shit was fun.
Was it the Cobra Jet?
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was running close to 8 seconds quarter mile, man. He was running 808s, and I was like, look at this.
Oh my god! And then
Look
AMP came with the 8-second Corvette too.
Yo, that's what I'm telling you.
Oh
You saw it. You saw that shit. I was like, oh. I was like, that is a fast fucking car. So, the Stangs, you could, the aftermarket for them is crazy. But I had to give, the whole Chrysler deal, and all that, a pretty good nod on bringing out basically a production quarter miler, man, that you could take to the track and run, drive on the road and run.
Hey,
and,
man, Camaro,
if you could really get it right, you might get it to 9 seconds.
Man, look, Chevy has a stock. They have a pro stock, or not a pro stock. It's called a stock mod that you can buy out of the dealership for $85K with the MTs. They got the skinnies on the front. It's all DOT legal tires. so you can drive it on the road.
Mm.
But you've got the skinnies on the front, and you literally just drive that bitch to the track and run it. We're talking.
What car is this?
A Camaro.
The Camaro?
They've always
Yeah.
always had that.
I'm just talking about, you can go. I mean,
you can buy the Stang. You can buy the Stang like that too.
Well, I was looking at this thing. I mean, you can literally
that slick right there, Mike. That white AMG.
All the mods they have, you can call up and put that stuff in that car, and you could buy it. They don't make
you can also buy that shit.
Like the Dodge. I said they don't make a stock car like the Dodge Demon. I mean, because you can call up Ford and order a Stang and all the aftermarket pieces that they have. You can, with the money, you can get that put in and you can have that car delivered to you. They can do it for you, for a price. But as far as the Dodge Demon was concerned, and just going in, just ordering that car and just going out there. I mean, every racing piece you had, tranny brake, everything else. I mean, this trans brake and all that. I mean, this car just came with all that stuff of where the what was it? What was the Charger? What was the Charger? The one that was right underneath it. I'm forgetting this name. But it was pretty fast as well. But the Demon was like the fastest. But they that's a car you can take to the track and race. You can race that car. That's a legitimate like race car. I mean, it's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Mike, what we looking at? This is what, like a UCLK right here?
It's an AMG.
AMG. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dr. Phoenix like that last one, the white one with the brown.
The white.
No,
take a look at it again.
White on black look, man.
Wait, say that again.
No, I was saying I like that white on black look, man. I like that.
I didn't like the red, but that matte gunmetal that you just had there, Mike. Holy shit.
That's nice. Yes.
That's nice, bro. I like that.
Yeah, these cars are kind of cold. That's just
red fucking interior.
That's kind of cold. That's kind of cold.
Red interior though.
I saw a guy. This is like the only one I've seen on the road so far. Seen one of those new BMW, the M8s, the Grand Sports.
Oh, the Grand Sport or the Grand Coupe.
Grand Sports, yes. I think I've seen one of those.
Yeah, the Grand Sports, the 4-door one. I think that's the Grand Sport.
Yeah, the Grand Sport, the 4-door.
Yeah, the M8s. Yeah.
Yeah, that car was slick. That was a slick car. Still not as cool as that GT. Was it the GTS, the 4-door AMG?
Oh, the GT63S.
Yeah.
That's my next bad boy.
That one, but man, that bad boy was nice. I like it.
Man, I can't wait to get that bad boy, man. 2022.
Because where I'm at,
does that have red interior?
A lot of guys where I live now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that now. This one has a brown leather. Oh God, why? They all have a hideous interior.
I can roll with the brown leather. I'm cool with that. That's not too bad.
Man, I'm in California, bro. It's like 105 today, dude. No, hell no. Hell no. There's no fucking way, dude. No.
No seats are air conditioned, so.
God, what okay, there's still it's brown. It's brown leather. I mean, if you got like a Bentley or some shit, that's okay. But I don't know, for something like this, and then the other one had like red interior, and I'm like, God damn.
Well, but that's what they chose. Yeah. Remember, when you buy these cars, man, is what color do you want?
I know, I get it, and that's why I'm kind of questioning the customer. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, you got to understand, some of these cars are already pre-packaged. Like, so if you select one or two things, then it transforms the whole entire car into that.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much how it gets built. But yeah, these seats are usually air conditioned, so you don't have to really worry about like that. Farrell, your seats.
My E450 coupe is air conditioned. The seats and is heated. So
Yep.
Shit. Well, I'm over here, man. There's like a Jaguar dealership about a half mile down from me, and a BMW dealership right across the street from me. And there's a whole bunch of white dudes over here driving the F types, the SVRs.
Yeah.
those things. I would probably have a hard time fitting one of those. I'm not the tallest dude. I'm like 5'10". But yeah, but these dudes, like those cars are like really, really small. If anyone's ever seen one of those up close, like they're very small.
Yeah, they're small on the outside. They're smaller than a 911, but they're big on the inside.
Yeah,
they're big on the inside. I don't know how they design it that way. I think that's all optics, but
Mike, what's that one to the left right there? What's that up there right there to the left?
That's just a wrap on it.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right.
Yeah, it's just a wrap.
Hey, have you heard anything on our new vet? Anybody got anything to say on that one?
You know what? No, actually, it did pretty good at Sebring. I watched about an hour of it yesterday morning. The Sebring race. They look like I said, dude. The fucking race car is badass.
The race car does. It does look cool in race car form, but I will admit, even the civilian model, it's kind of growing on me. I've seen some.
Dude, Dr. Phoenix, I'm sorry, bro. I'm still just
still not a believer.
I'm like,
still not a believer.
Dude, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing with me, dude. The race car is badass. The production car, I hate it. The more I look at it.
I watched a few videos over the past week or whatever, and the car is legit, man. I mean, the car.
Yeah, it's a legit car from what I'm seeing.
There's some chick out here who's got one twin turbo now. She got hers twin turbo, and Rob Dam. Okay. Rob Dam. So you know, with him, he's throwing a rotary in his, right? And dude, yeah, you got to follow Rob Dom shit, man. He's putting a rotary in it because what he's doing is that back in, I think it was 1968, GM made a experimental version of the Corvette with a rotary. GM actually has a patent on a rotary engine, and they made it, right? So what Rob did was he found a wrecked C8. It was like a new one that somebody banged up in the front end. Somebody being stupid. He went threw the money at it, bought it, and then said, you know what? I'm gonna turn this car into the prototype that Chevy built in 1968. And you know what Chevy did? They refused to sell him the goddamn parts.
Of course. Hell no.
Fucking wreck. So,
how dare a customer make something better than what we're making? Come on.
Yeah, you know, dude, I'm telling you, I'm heavy on this YouTube, on the fucking YouTube shit when it comes to this stuff, man.
Oh, that's all game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, clearly it wasn't good enough.
Yay.
Oh shit.
No.
I kind of like that new Corvette, man. It's grown on me. I've seen some guys with some all black ones, man. Those things look legit, man.
Yo, fuck this shit is car. I don't care what anybody says. Folks are hating on it. Shit is badass. Fuck that. I saw that shit. I'm like, damn, that car. That car got a nice ass too. Car look good. So
now, for my money, would I get one? No.
Hell no.
I would still do a GTR, but I mean, the car is legit, man. Actually, I might do one of these M4s because I hear they're supposed to be all-wheel drive, man. So
man, they price gouging on them Corvettes right now because some of the closed it. So now it was supposed to be originally base model 60 to 70 grand. So
they getting 20 over.
For 120, I'm like,
they getting 20, 30 over there.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yes,
minimum.
125,
nope.
and some idiots are paying for it, bro. I'm like, bro, the Z06 that's coming out ain't going to even be that much, and y'all paying 125, man.
Yeah, but you know something? That's been classic with Corvettes when they had the new body change. Bad boys were going 25, 30 over sticker because one of my boys, George Porce, he actually was a manager at a dealership. He was like he was, he had the Corvette, he had a new vet, he was driving that shit around, and we were playing him in this basketball league, and he would come up with the new vet. We was like, that shit is tight. And then this is back in the day with the new body change on the car, and he was like, motherfuckers are getting 35,000 above sticker on these motherfuckers. So that's that. Vets have classically done that.
Yeah,
that shit is crazy.
Now they getting over 60 and 70 over.
With this mid-engine joint.
Yeah.
I got
They
a
capping on them.
dealership right
They
down
are
by my house.
capping on these.
I got
That's right
Jose,
now.
I was gonna say I got a dealer by my house, and I was asking. I was like, well, I was like, you know, and he had one vet in there. He said everything was back ordered. He just had a vet in the showroom. That vet was already sold, and it was on the showroom floor. I was like, what? So he didn't have any vets actually in stock to sell. So everything was back ordered, and they were getting probably 30, 35,000 above stick at that stage then. So see, it's even more now. Mid-engine vet, man. Come on, folks.
Bruh.
That,
Yeah, bro. They paying 60, 70 over sticker price, and the people are paying for them, bro. People are paying for it. Yes.
The thing is, the car is not worth it. It's
No,
not.
I don't
even
think
close.
it's worth it, but I don't think it's worth it. But I think the cachet is what it's about right now. That's all it is. It's just hype.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're approaching 9/11 territory with that, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the car was
Exactly.
priced.
Oh hell no.
And the car was priced
There we
not
go.
to be that expensive.
And
That's
I
why
was like, this is base model, not even the Zora, man. I'm like, y'all
Oh hell no. I mean,
125. I was like,
120, man. I'm getting a used Porsche.
Yes.
I'm looking at a used McLaren. Are you kidding me? Hell.
Hey, listen, that car should be about 60,000. That's where it's priced to be. That's what it should be. But
that's what it's
hype
priced
on
to
the
be.
car is crazy. The
Exactly.
hype.
But they placated that because of the COVID and everything. They don't have all the Corvettes out. They just sitting over here just capping on the price. And I was like, you are a fool if you pay for this, man.
I've been
But I'm
saying
telling
this.
you got C7s and shit. You got Z06s that are sitting around, ain't even moving right now.
Ain't even moving.
No, nobody wants them. Nobody wants them.
Yeah. They ain't even moving, and you can get them for cheap. If you
I'm
see
gonna
that
tell
shit
you
on
right
the
now,
dealership floor.
If Rob Dam throws a fucking rotary in a C8 and makes it way better, holy shit.
Yeah, well, that's his own mind because
Why would that make a difference?
Dude, a rotary's way lighter.
Yeah, but are people going out and buying Corvettes to put rotary engines in?
No, what I'm saying is that in contrast to everything else that you can buy out there, it's like I said, there's a lot of knocks on the C8, in my view, anyway. And so that's part of the reason why they did not want to sell the parts to Rob Dom to like rebuild his shit. So he's gonna have to just kind of do it on his own. But you know, I understand why GM would probably not rather he do that, but they can't tell him he can't if he bought it. But you know.
Let's go to Dr. Phoenix. What do you say?
No, I was just gonna say the only reason I would buy a Corvette is just because I want that V8 sound. That's it.
The thing is, you can see where they saved the money, right? Where they cut corners on the C8. I saw one this morning when I was on my way to the dealership. The thing is this, man. The C8 is its purpose is to have supercar performance for the price of a sports car. It makes sense, right? But if you're paying over sticker, and it only looks good in LT3 package, it doesn't look good in any other package, right? The base model is just very anemic. Yeah, it looks anemic, right? It's like it missed a few meals or something like that, malnourished or something like that, aesthetically speaking. And so I'm not all that moved by that. I was at the Lotus dealership, man, and like they stole 3 cars like in one day, 3 Lotuses in one day, a low tire in one day. And so people are willing to pay, for, car enthusiasts know their cars, right? And they're not waiting around for a C8. They'll go out.
Well, they know. That's the thing, man. If you're a McLaren guy, you're gonna buy a fucking McLaren, dude.
Well, it's the exclusivity that they're after. There's nothing exclusive about being a C8 owner. I mean, it's a nice car. Sounds really cool. Got mid-engine performance for a fraction of the price, but it's still just a Corvette.
Quarter mile straight line. You're done. That's it. You go
That's
outside
all you
of
got,
that, man. I mean, if I want a V8 sound, I can go get a. Oh, come on, man! I can go get a C class.
Saucy. Let me push back on that a little bit. Especially starting with the C6, Dude, the Corvette has a fucking road racing pedigree. I gotta be real with you.
It actually does. Yeah, the
Winner,
Corvette series.
C6,
It does.
C7, it's
Yeah,
a Le Mans winner,
It does.
C8. It's
Yeah.
beaten. I mean, it was on.
does.
That's what I was just saying. The C8. I was just watching the Sebring, the first portion of the Sebring race yesterday morning. Man, like there was a Porsche and two fucking C8s behind it. Okay, and then a couple Porsches behind it, and then a bunch of other shit. So those fucking C8s are badass, dude. Like I said,
CAs are gonna run hard.
they are badass.
They-
They are badass.
Okay, I understand, but
Where
who
is Paul
holds
Bryant?
the most
Where's
wins?
Paul Bryant?
Who holds the most wins at Le Mans?
At the fucking Nürburgring, probably. Anyway, go ahead.
We're cutting off South Cheese. Go ahead, South.
I was saying, go ahead, Sashi.
Who holds the most wins at Le Mans?
It ain't Chevy. I know that.
Yeah, but when
Porsche.
you say that,
Porsche.
yeah, that's what he's saying.
Porsche.
Yeah.
Who holds the record at Nürburgring?
No, it ain't Chevy. I get it.
Thank you.
But I'm telling you from starting from the C6. Okay, what we have to do is we have to start looking at the point from which the Corvette became a road racing beast. It started with the C6, bro.
Yeah, but people aren't going to Cars and Coffee and popping over their hoods, man, and putting this, the hood rod up under it and saying, yeah, this won Le Mans, this did really well.
No. I'm saying no. What I'm saying is that the Corvette has a road racing pedigree. Okay,
It does.
It is a legit car. It is a legit car in that pantheon, and you can follow it starting with the C6. The C6 was the chassis that put it on the fucking map. This is all I'm saying. You got to really just look at it.
Agreed.
It's not as if they have, because
Yeah,
look, if you're looking at American makes that have had an international mark in terms of competition, it would be Ford. Okay, and you'd go back to the 60s. They just made a movie about it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, they did.
But in the current time, I'm sorry, when you start with the C6, when they had Jan Magnussen, I'm trying to remember who else was driving it. Who else was driving that car? They started with the C6, okay? C6, C7, even into the C8. I just watched the Sebring race yesterday morning. Bro, I will say this. GM has committed that car to international motorsport.
So what? But why? People aren't lined up at the dealerships, with that in mind, though. That's not what they're coming to the dealerships.
No. It's Mike. It's the whole adage: sell on Sunday or race on Sunday.
Race on Sunday, sell on Monday.
That's what it is, dude. So if you're gonna make the Corvette, if you're gonna make it a vehicle that you want people to consider to buy, you have to put it in competition. You really do. And I'm saying what GM does is they put it in like the venue where it's the top of the top of the top, and that motherfucker performs. I gotta give it to him.
It does, and I have to say, man, it's been numerous times where I've seen Corvettes literally on quarter miles just giving Hellcats and demons a hard time, man.
Well, and then go on to a European road course, right?
Yeah.
And they give Ferraris and Porsches hell. I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah, from what I was told, they took the suspension, Ferrari, the 458s and the 488s, the suspension, they took their cues from the Corvette. From the suspension.
Probably.
What I was told, yeah.
Well, you got to look at how big the goddamn motor. Look at how big the front end is on a C7, on a C6 and a C7. Look how big the front end is on. It was me, Mike, Ty City, Nago. I'm trying to remember who else is on there. Dr. Phoenix maybe, and we had an actual picture of a C7 up there. And when you look at like kind of how the car is designed, 65% of that car is front end.
Is that So
the roof line, the cabin and the roof line is actually it's maybe at about the 45% mark. So when you go 65% of the length of the car, that's where the goddamn windshield line, the roof line starts. Yeah. So there's so much motor that takes up the front end, but at the same time, it's like you get the proper balance on it. You know who we were just talking about the Viper earlier. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what Orica did with the Viper in France. Back in the
Yeah,
early
because
2000s, they made the
they
Viper
rebalanced that car.
a
That's right. I
fucking
remember you talking about that.
European
That's right.
killer.
That's right. That's right. They really because that was a V10.
It was a V10. When you look at the Viper,
yeah,
how much of the car is front end?
That was like almost
It's
it was
all
like
motor
7
in the
liter
front
engine
end.
that had it there, man. It was crazy.
It's all motor. Most of the car,
That's
and
all
if
it
you look at
was.
the front
That's
end, it's a
like all
big ass motor, and then the actual cabin is in the back.
That's all
Yeah.
it was, man. That's
Yeah.
it was literally a motor on wheels. That's what that shit was.
Yeah. The C, when you look at the C6 or the C7, it's kind of the same thing. Look how big the front end is.
Yeah, it's a smaller
But
version.
at the same time, though, if you put the right aerodynamics on it, it's a fucking killer. And I'm just saying, dude, starting with the C6, I don't know what it was. I don't know if they hired some. It might have been when they might have kind of had the Opel sort of thing that happened with the conglomeration, and they may have brought some European engineers over, and then they had a look at the goddamn Corvette and said, maybe we need to design the aero this way. Because like I said, when the Europeans get a hold of some American muscle, dude, they fucking work wonders with it.
Yeah,
And
they do.
They balanced that fucking car. They balanced that shit out, bro. Trust me. Yeah, I remember that. I remember we were going over that. Yeah, because the Americans who were driving that car, it was a tough one. The car was fast and out of power, but it was you really had to be pretty good. You know, you had to be a really good driver to handle that car.
Yeah.
Definitely don't let the Australians get their hands on it neither.
No. Okay. No. You know what? That you just brought up a very good point. The reason why is because the Australians are another group of people who will take American engineering, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they will work their magic on that shit. And
Yeah, they sure did.
That's where you get the Australian. That's where you get the Australian supercar series.
That's right.
Remember, I even sent you videos of the Australian Pro Car series where they take all the fucking old school shit, and they run that shit like as if it's brand new ass machinery. They race the shit out of that stuff. Go look at Australian
doing
Pro
quarter
Touring
miles in 7 and 6 seconds.
Are you serious? I'm talking about running.
They were taking the Pontiac GTOs that they make.
There you go, running it at Bathurst, dude. I'm talking about road course.
One of those cars like
like the old school IMSA days. They run that shit.
Yeah, I love
in Australia. They run it 2 day, and that was why I sent it to Nagone because they still do it today in Australia.
Yeah, I love and them old school IMSA days. Those are my favorites. I mean, racing is good today. Your boy Lewis. Oh, your boy Lewis Hamilton. What's up?
Hey, I told you. Number seven, brother. Number 7. It's coming, brother.
He gonna surpass. He gonna surpass everybody, man. And people only gonna be mad because he.
Number 7.
Schumacher. Oh, a lot of guys are. Well, he's with McLaren. He's with McLaren. He got these guys.
He was winning way before. He was winning before he was even with McLaren.
There you go. Speak on it, Mike.
Put that motherfucker in a go-kart. He's tearing your ass out the front. The man can drive. It's the driver.
Exactly. He's the coldest dude on the track.
He's the Iceman, dog.
Oh, Ben's gang up in this piece. Ben's gang.
I'm saying what's up.
Ben's gang. They play extra horsepower.
Oh, no, that's gang. No, he on there. He got gang. Yo.
Ben's gang in his bitch.
He got track.
Out there. That's gang. Yo.
Oh,
what's up? What's up?
Man, look, I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Look, Lewis Hamilton wins his 7th championship, right?
But we were saying this last year, though. He was gonna win this.
Listen. I'm telling you right now, he wins his 7th championship this year, bro. We're firing up the live stream. Everybody can get their fucking wine, champagne, whatever, man. We're gonna toast to that.
I know I am, boy.
Yeah, we're gonna do it, bro. We're gonna do it, bro. We're gonna do it, bro.
Oh, we're gonna do this.
We're gonna do it.
Like Brutus, because we always do this for sure.
We're gonna do it. Yeah,
make sure we have it. See, I'm gonna have out my
toast up to that brother.
Old fucking Remy out here. I'm gonna bust off on some Remy.
Yeah, we're gonna toast up to that brother. Hey, Nagone, your package is on the way, bro. Yeah.
Okay, so man. Anyway, what you talking about that? Oh, that's my
hey. So anyway, So I'm just saying, we're gonna toast up to that brother. He gets shipped number 7. We toasting up, man.
Oh, he's getting that. He's getting. See, a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look at how.
I don't know. I'm like, he's better than he is. He's better than Schumacher, and he's gonna do it. And he's gonna do it in the short.
Yeah.
Watch how he does. Just check him out. I'm just saying. Just check him out.
It's just funny. It's just funny reading the comments, man. Oh, after, because of course the first race, they're like, oh, look at that. He might be losing
that was some
it. He might
bullshit
not
with
be the
Alex.
same
No.
dude.
That was some bullshit with Alex Albon. No, fuck that. Because what happened afterwards? He done pulled off 2 wins in a row. That was Alex Albon.
Yeah. In the rain.
And Albon, them cats are haters. Listen, check your man out this year. By the end of this year, people are gonna be crying. They're gonna be crying in their soup on this thing.
Number 7, the GOAT.
They're gonna be crying.
7.
But we already said it. You, me, and Paul said it. Said that.
Number 7.
We said that.
Coming.
We said that. I knew the dude is too cold. Who said he was cold up in here? Someone when else said he was cold. He's cold. He doesn't make me. He drives you. He waits for you to make mistakes. The minute you do, he's by you. He comes right by you, and he doesn't give it up. Guys panic when they see him in their fucking in their rearview mirrors, and when they're in their rearview mirrors, and they see this and they see their mirrors full of this motherfucker behind them. They start panicking. These dudes, they start panicking. That's what happens.
Curves wrong, bro.
That's what happens.
You, bro.
As soon as you make a mistake, I got you.
Tight. He ain't on no brakes either. These niggas is on brakes. He ain't. Fuck that.
As soon as you fuck up, as soon as you fuck up, I got you. Straight up. As soon as you fuck up, like I'm gonna sit here. As soon as you fuck up,
he waits for you. He waits, and when he's coming into the corners and you over there on your brakes and trying to spin off, he ain't touching off on the brakes.
And then guess what? When he's in front, and then guess what? When he's in front, he's like, "I dare you to wait for me to make a fucking mistake.
I dare you to wait because you know
you're gonna keep waiting.
Stop? When them checkered flags drop on your ass.
Pretty much it's like this. Pretty much here's how it works. Here's how it works. If you're in front, you better not fuck up. And if I'm in front, guess what? You all lost. That's how
you
it
lost.
works with Hamilton, bro.
But people panic. They see when their rearview mirrors are full of this motherfucker, seeing them up on them, they start to panic. That's what I love about him. He drives them. He drives the ladies, and these guys start making mistakes. They're out of position. They go, look. Oh, he's
mind games in this motherfucker. He be playing mind games with these niggas, man.
He just mind, and what he'll do is he'll drive you down for a few laps. Let you lead for a little while. Just drive you down. Wait for you to fucking tire.
They thought Verstappen was supposed to come in.
Go and listen. Go and listen to the races where it's just basically the onboard and it's him talking to the engineer. Go listen to their conversations as he's behind somebody. It's fucking hilarious.
He's like, look at him. Oh, look at him. Oh, he's moving. Oh, look at him.
They're just like Lewis. Well, your tires are still good. Your temperatures are still good. Just hold tight. He's like, okay, copy. And he just sits right there behind the motherfucker.
Yep.
He waits for these guys, but I know what he's thinking. He's like, this guy's gonna fuck up on this next turn. Watch. He's gonna fuck up, and I'm gonna be right by him. That's all he just waits for you to make mistakes. And this is the thing that makes you know that he's such a great driver. Look at his positioning that he is on the track all the time. Look how those angles.
Dude, he's a top 3 qualifier. He never qualifies out of the top 3, and typically he's qualifying number 1.
Top 3,
and if he's qualified within the top 3, guess what? Within about the first 10 to 15 laps,
he's on the lead.
By the first pit,
he's on the lead. He's on the pole.
Towards the end of last season, I think it was I forget which track it was at, and he was he broke their strategy because he was supposed to go in, and they were like they said box. He was like no.
No, they did, and like Toto Wolff was kind of mad, but then he was like, you know what?
He knew what he was doing.
No. You know what he said? After all, this is Lewis Hamilton.
He's like, you know what, dude?
Now that's what you're dealing with.
You know, I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Let me chill.
He's like, I got a 6-time world champion right here, and let me get out of my fifis. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, I don't care. They all, salute him and all that, but them white boys is kind of tight, man. They kind of tight. They slide.
That's why I
Don't
said
look at the
that's why I said
comments.
they
Don't
thought
look at the
they
comments.
thought Verstappen was going to be the guy that was going to top him.
He'll
It's
be the
like,
guy
And what
when
happened to
Lewis
him?
retires, bro.
What happened to him? What happened to him? You saw
No,
what
listen.
happened. Go ahead.
He might be the guy when Lewis moves on to Le Mans prototypes, right? Because
Maybe so.
after he gets I'll say this. Verstappen still has to battle with Charles Leclerc because
exactly.
me and Paul Bryant have said this. The Ferrari driver, Charles Leclerc,
I think he's a better driver.
He's the next motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah, he's a better driver than
He's
Verstappen.
the next motherfucker. It ain't Verstappen, bro. I'm sorry, dude. Like
No,
it's
that's
not
what I'm saying.
Leclerc.
I'm not saying
Leclerc
Verstappen
is
yeah, he is.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Charles to me, he's the next guy. Verstappen is, I mean, he can drive, but
he can.
No, he drives.
He's too
He can
reckless.
drive.
He's reckless, bro. He's reckless.
Yeah, that's the whole problem. But you know
Charles is
something?
like he's a Hamilton disciple, dude.
Okay,
Leclerc
you're right.
is precision, bro. He's precision.
Okay, you hit it right in the head. Stafford, he makes mistakes because he gets a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah.
If he could get a little bit more discipline, and really be able, because see, Hamilton, he takes them guys on them corners. He takes them on the turns, my dog. You got to be live up in that piece. He'll get you on the straightaway as well. Well, Hamilton will kind of get you anyway. But
pretty much.
This kid was just a little more disciplined coming down the track. I would say going into turns, but just a little bit more, just a little calmer, which I think takes. I don't know if that's skill or if that's his personality with him.
No,
I don't know. But
Verstappen. Look, Verstappen. So look, his history on him is his dad is Josh Verstappen.
Right.
Yeah. His dad used to race Formula One. Okay. Now Max came up in karting. He was a CRG driver. Okay. Well, I started following Max when he was in karting. In karting, he was a beast. He was a beast. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he moved up real quick. As a lot of these kids, like the kids who are like the sons of like ex Formula One drivers and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. They move up through the ranks real quick in karting, and they get up there. Max got into an F1 seat, dude, young. Okay. So he came in really with that karting approach. When you when you race karts, you have to race aggressive. There's no suspension on the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. So you have to muscle the fucking cart around the track. Max drives with a karting mentality. He drives the fucking F1 car like a cart. That's why he does what he. Look, I will say this: he's fast, right? He's fast because he drives the F1 car like a cart. Okay.
Yeah, but he's a little reckless.
But watch. I'm gonna fire up some live streams on my channel where we're gonna do race analysis and we're gonna watch kart races, and you're gonna just see. You have to drive a cart like that. If you want to be fast, you have to be reckless, right? Okay. Like I told you, Max came up through karting. He was just whooping everybody's ass. Okay. And it was really, he wasn't in there that long because he was good. Okay.
Yeah,
so he didn't stay in karting that long.
Hey guys.
I know. Got into Formula One. And guess what? He's fast. But that's the whole point. He's fast in Formula One, but he's reckless. And that's the reason why ultimately he won't win.
Hey guys, I gotta shake up out of here, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys can take it over the complexes or channel. All right, have a good night, guys.
All right, peace, bro.
Appreciate it.